Major League Baseball has seen some jaw-dropping contracts over the years, some that turned into franchise-defining steals, and others that aged like milk in the summer sun. This is not just a list of bad signings. This is a deep dive into the Titanic-tier disasters that sank teams, wasted years, and left fan bases screaming into the void. These are the worst contracts in MLB history. And no, we're not talking about mediocre players getting overpaid. We're talking about elite names who signed record-breaking deals and then turned into ghosts, liabilities, or in some cases, cautionary tales for generations to come. Let's start at number 10, and fair warning, it only gets worse from here. Number 10, Anthony Rendon, Los Angeles Angels, 7 years, $245 million. When the Angels signed Anthony Rendon after his 2019 heroics with the Nationals, it looked like a move that would finally bring stability behind Mike Trout. He had just hit .319, led the league in RBIs, and won a World Series. But it turns out, you actually need to like baseball to justify nearly a $250 million investment, and Rendon kind of doesn't. Injuries have plagued him, yes, but it's not just about health. It's about effort. He's missed over 60% of the Angels' games since signing the deal and has had more suspensions than playoff appearances. Between lackluster performances, .218 average in 2024, and his own admission that baseball's not a priority, this contract has gone from regrettable to embarrassing. And with 3 years still to go, it's only getting uglier. Number 9, Jordan Zimmermann, Detroit Tigers, 5 years, $110 million. When you hand a guy $110 million based on past durability, you expect at least some durability in return. The Tigers didn't get that. Zimmermann was a 2-time All-Star with the Nationals, known for his consistency and a sneaky good win record. Then he arrived in Detroit, won Pitcher of the Month, and promptly collapsed. His ERA ballooned to the mid-4s, then to the 6s, then to the point where you wondered if he was throwing beach balls. By 2019, he was 1-13. In 2020, he pitched just 3 games and posted an ERA close to 8. And the Tigers? They paid every cent of it. Number 8, B.J. Upton, Atlanta Braves, 5 years, $72.5 million. Speed, power, defense. B.J. Upton had it all on paper, and in Tampa, he even showed flashes of putting it together. But the Braves gave him the richest contract in franchise history, and what they got was the shell of a player. He hit .184 in year 1, stole less than a third of the bases he used to, and posted a negative WAR in back-to-back seasons. Atlanta was so desperate to get rid of him, they packaged him with star closer Craig Kimbrel just to find a buyer. Upton would bounce around a couple of more teams before fading out of the league entirely. Meanwhile, Braves fans were left wondering, how did we fall for that? Number 7, Madison Bumgarner, Arizona Diamondbacks, 5 years, $85 million. The postseason legend, the World Series icon, the guy who once pitched 5 innings on no rest and shut out the Royals in Game 7. That's the guy Arizona thought they were signing in 2019. What they actually got was a guy whose best stuff stayed in San Francisco. The velocity dipped, the ERA soared, and Bumgarner never even came close to living up to the hype. By 2023, he was getting lit up every outing and got released after just 4 starts with an ERA north of 10. And yes, the D-backs still had to pay him into 2024. WAR? Deeply negative. ROI? Non-existent. Number 6, Prince Fielder, Detroit Tigers, 9 years, $214 million. In 2011, Fielder was one of the game's most feared sluggers. Durable, productive, and just 27, the Tigers pounced with a mega deal they hoped would carry them to a title. They got 2 decent regular seasons, and that's it. Fielder bombed in the postseason, delivered some stunningly tone-deaf interviews about not caring, and was traded to the Rangers, where things really fell apart. A neck injury ended his career prematurely, but not before he cashed massive checks while barely playing. Technically, it was Texas who got the worst of the deal, but Detroit fans don't feel like winners either. Number 5. Alex Rodriguez, New York Yankees, 10 years, $275 million. A-Rod was already controversial when he opted out of his first 10-year deal during the World Series, but the Yankees still brought him back on another $275 million pact. Big mistake. Sure, he delivered a World Series in 2009, but between the PED suspensions, including a full season in 2014, endless drama, and a general decline in health and performance, this deal turned into a circus. A-Rod would miss huge chunks of the contract, retire early, and remain one of baseball's most polarizing figures. The Yankees overpaid for tabloid headlines and broken promises. Number 4. Josh Hamilton, Los Angeles Angels, 5 years, $125 million. Hamilton's comeback story was incredible. MVP in Texas, 5 All-Star appearances, and raw power few could match. But the Angels paid for the fantasy, not the reality. His numbers dipped immediately. Then came injuries, an 0-for-13 ALDS performance, and a relapse into drug and alcohol issues while rehabbing. The Angels essentially paid him to go away, shipping him back to Texas and eating the bulk of the contract. He played just 50 more MLB games before retiring, a massive risk that went exactly how critics feared it would. Number 3. Pablo Sandoval, Boston Red Sox, 5 years, $95 million. Panda was a fan favorite in San Francisco, but the Red Sox fell for his playoff reputation and overlooked the fact that he'd been trending downward. Sandoval showed up to spring training overweight, hit .245, and fell off a cliff. In 2016, he only logged 6 at-bats. In 2017, he was cut entirely, still owed tens of millions while playing for another team. Boston paid $48 million for him to not play for them. And even after returning to the Giants, he never got back to being even an average contributor. This one burned hard and fast. Number 2. Jacoby Ellsbury, New York Yankees, 7 years, $153 million. The Yankees have a habit of outbidding everyone, and then wondering why it didn't work out. Ellsbury was coming off a strong stretch with the Red Sox where he won Gold Gloves, stole bases, and once hit 32 homers. But in New York, one decent year, then a spiral of mediocrity and injuries. By 2018, he was gone. By 2019, he was officially released. And by 2020, the Yankees were in a legal battle trying not to pay him for receiving unauthorized medical treatment. The MLB-PA sided with Ellsbury, and the Yankees were left writing checks for a player who hadn't suited up in years. Number 1. Chris Davis, Baltimore Orioles, 7 years, $161 million. This one isn't just the worst contract in Orioles history, it might be the worst in sports history. Davis had just led the league in homers twice and looked like the kind of power bat you build around. So Baltimore backed up the Brinks truck. In return, he delivered the lowest batting average ever for a qualified hitter, .168 in 2018, set the MLB record for consecutive hitless at-bats, and became a national punchline. By 2020, he hit .115. By 2021, he was gone. And here's the kicker. Davis will be paid by the Orioles until 2037 thanks to deferred payments. That's right, he'll be collecting checks into his 50s, and he earned it by not hitting. What all of these contracts have in common is a dangerous mix of over-optimism, poor timing, and front offices betting big on fading stars. Some were cursed by injuries, others by suspensions or personal demons. But the end result was the same. Millions burned, rosters frozen, and fans left wondering how it all went so wrong. Do you think these teams learned their lesson? Or are we one hot off-season away from another Rendon-level deal? Let us know in the comments, and if you want more deep dives like this one, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a swing.